This is how Eid al-Adha 2017 is being celebrated around the world. Millions of Muslims around the world are gathering to celebrating the second Eid event of the year. Worshippers came together in their hundreds and even thousands to mark the start of Eid al-Adha, the feast of the sacrifice. Around 5,500 people attended Green Lane Masjid and Community Center in Birmingham for prayer sessions on Friday, September 1st, as the first day of the Eid festivities began. Birmingham's prayers were held indoors this year because of wet weather and the threat of more rain, although there is still a funfair in Small Heath Park for the 4 days of Eid. Images from around the world show prayers taking place in countries including Italy, France, Kosovo, Russia, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Bosnia and Kenya. Eid al-Adha is known by various names across the globe. In Russia, it's called Kurban Bayram, and in Turkey it's the similar Kurban Bayrami. Both mean the holiday of the sacrifice. Yemen, Syria, Morocco, Tunisia, Libya, and Algeria use the term Eid al-Kabir, while Eid al-Bakara is the phrase in Egypt, Saudi Arabia and some other parts of the Middle East. Worshippers in Iran call it Eid-e-Kurban, while in Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Trinidad it's known as Bakwara Eid. Senegal and West Africa's name for the same celebrations is Tabaski or Tabaski. However it's known, the event is the second and more holy of the two main Muslim holidays each year. The first is mainly called Eid al-Fitr, the second Eid al-Adha. Eid al-Adha commemorates Abraham's willingness to sacrifice his son to Allah, and thus his devotion, and also marks the end of the annual Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca. In 2017, more than 1.7 million pilgrims converged on Mecca in Saudi Arabia to mark the start of the Hajj. Many begin by circling the cube-shaped Kaaba, Islam's holiest site, and performing a series of rites that trace the footsteps of the Prophet Muhammad. Muslims believe the rites also trace the footsteps of the prophets Abraham and Ismail, the equivalent of Abraham and Ishmael in Christian and Jewish texts. The Kaaba represents the metaphorical house of God and the oneness of God in Islam. Observant Muslims around the world face the Kaaba during the 5 daily prayers. The Hajj is required of all Muslims once in a lifetime. The physically demanding journey tests pilgrims' patience as they withstand long waits and thick crowds on their path to achieving spiritual purification and repentance. Egyptian pilgrim Ahmed Ali, on his first Hajj, said he was grateful to be in Mecca. "It's an indescribable feeling, a spiritual feeling. Thanks to God, I feel great," he said. A 104-year-old Indonesian woman is among those performing the Hajj this year, according to Saudi authorities. Ibu Mariam Argani Muhammad is joining more than 220,000 pilgrims from Indonesia, the world's most populous Muslim country. The journey of the 5-day-long pilgrimage begins for many when they depart from their countries dressed in ihram. For men, that entails wearing only terry cloth, seamless white garments meant to represent unity among Muslims and equality before God. Women wear loose clothing, cover their hair and forego makeup and nail polish to achieve a state of humility and spiritual purity. After prayers in Mecca, pilgrims will head to an area called Mount Arafat on Thursday, where the Prophet Muhammad delivered his final sermon. From there, pilgrims will head to an area called Muzdalifah, picking up pebbles along the way for a symbolic stoning of the devil and a casting away of sins that takes place in the Mina Valley for 3 days. Over the years, the Saudi government has spent billions of dollars to improve the safety of the pilgrimage, particularly in Mina where some of the deadliest incidents have occurred, including a stampede and a collision of 2 crowds that crushed people under the force in 2015 that killed more than 2,400 people. Saudi Interior Ministry spokesman Major General Mansour al-Turki told reporters in a news conference that a more than 100,000-strong security force is on the ground in and around Mecca to secure the Hajj and assist pilgrims. He said the number of pilgrims at the Hajj, including those from within Saudi Arabia, was expected to reach 2 million.